The woman in the next bathroom stall gasped my name through the divider and said, "I need you to climb over here right now. I think the baby's coming." And I recognized the voice as Mara from accounting, who wasn't due for another 6 weeks. I was 26, hiding in the 4th floor restroom to avoid a budget meeting. I actually laughed for a second because it sounded like a prank. Then she made a sound I'd never heard a human make, low and animal, and I was over that divider before my brain caught up, nearly eating it on the wet tile. She was gripping the rail with both hands, hair soaked to her forehead, and there was blood. Not a scary movie amount, but enough that my whole body went cold. "It's too early," she kept saying. "It's too early. Please do something. I know nothing about babies. I barely know how to keep a plant alive." But she was alone and terrified, and squeezing my wrist hard enough to leave marks, so leaving wasn't an option. "I'll be right back," I said, and I sprinted. I burst into the 3rd floor conference room mid-presentation, wild-eyed and out of breath, and grabbed Denise from HR, the one person in the building who stays calm when the fire alarm goes off for real. She took one look at my face and followed me without a single question, heels and all. By the time we got back, Mara's sounds were echoing down the hallway and people were drifting out of offices trying to figure out who was dying. Denise shouldered into the stall and went straight into command mode. "You're okay, honey, I've got you, breathe with me," and pointed at me. "Medical office, ground floor, run." I have never moved like that in my life. The building's nurse practitioner was mid-appointment when I crashed through her door, and sitting in her waiting chairs was Grant from sales, Mara's fiance, the guy who'd been handing out future dad cookies at the holiday party. I blurted that Mara was giving birth in the 4th floor bathroom, and he went white, then green, and threw up into the wastebasket before the nurse could even stand. No time. The nurse grabbed her emergency bag, and the 3 of us pounded up the stairwell. Word had spread through the whole building by then. There was an actual crowd outside the restroom, half of sales, 2 IT guys, somebody's intern filming the hallway until Denise's voice from inside made him think better of it. Inside was chaos, and weirdly, underneath it, calm. Denise had Mara's hand. The nurse took over checking her, talking her through it, telling her she was close. Grant stood frozen in the doorway, swaying like a man at sea. That's when Mara grabbed my sleeve and pulled me down to her ear and whispered the thing that made the floor tilt. "Get him out of here. The baby isn't his. He can't be here when—" "Please." Her eyes were pure panic and not the labor kind. I stood up with my heart slamming. I tried. I told Grant he looked sick, that he should get air, that the nurse needed space. He wouldn't move. He kept saying, "That's my kid in there. I'm not going anywhere." Every time he said "my kid," Mara's eyes found mine over the nurse's shoulder. Then the nurse said, "Push," and the crowd outside, I swear this is true, picked it up through the door and started chanting it like the world's most deranged pep rally, until Denise barked at them to shut it. The baby came fast at the end. One long cry from Mara, then a beat of total silence, then that tiny, unmistakable new person wail, and the entire hallway went church quiet. The nurse wrapped the baby in clean paper towels because that's all we had, and laid her on Mara's chest. She was small, early, furious, perfect, and she had a full head of bright copper red hair. When Mara and Grant are both dark-haired, and every single person in that bathroom had met Mara's red-headed ex from the 2nd floor, who'd transferred buildings in the spring, nobody said a word. Grant looked at the baby, then at Mara, then walked out past all of us. The paramedics arrived 4 minutes later and took Mara and the baby, both healthy, both fine. She texted me from the hospital that night, 2 words, "Thank you," and nothing else. She transferred offices before her leave ended. The building has never fully recovered. What's the biggest secret you ever watched detonate in real time?